Hi everyone, I am Akshit from ENH iSecure, working as an IM engineer. Thank you so much for joining this session. In today's session, we will see how we can request access to an AD join server which is accessible via a shared privileged account and got password rotation enabled. Let's begin the session with the agenda. This is our agenda for today's session. We will start with an overview to our use case covering the prerequisites needed. And I will also walk you through the integration flow and see exactly how it works in action. Finally, I will conclude the session with benefits of this use case. Let's get started with the use case overview. In this slide, we will talk about the use case overview. An organization needs to secure access for their servers by ensuring that only designated users or administrator can request access to resource based on their specific roles or departments. All access requests must go through an approval process to validate the appropriate permissions are granted. Users should be granted access exclusively to the actions permitted by their assigned roles. Additionally, to enhance security, the organization requires regular password rotation for all privileged accounts. The system must also record all user sessions and securely store these logs to meet compliance and auditing purposes. The challenge is to implement a security framework that enforces these controls effectively to maintain strong security and tight control over server access. In the next slide, we will see the prerequisites to develop and implement this use case. With these prerequisites in place, we can achieve this integration. Let's look at the integration flow in the next slide. Let me walk through the integration flow that leverages four major Okta components to create a secure and efficient access management solution. First, Okta Access Request. This controls user access by allowing users to request access which can be approved or denied based on rules. Second, Okta Privileged Access. Used here for automated password rotation of Active Directory accounts. Third, Okta Advanced Server Access enables enrollment of AD joint servers and captures session activity for compliance and auditing purpose. Finally, Okta Workflows automates update to user profile including the account names used to access specific servers. Now let's understand how all these components are combined to make this use case possible. First, I have created few user groups in Okta, which includes application developer group and multiple project and server specific groups. The project and server specific groups were pushed to both Okta Privileged Access and Okta Advanced Server Access, while the application developer group was pushed to Okta Access Request, allowing access requests to be configured exclusively for this group. Within Okta Access Request, I set up both approval and non-approval workflows. And also I configured a delegated flow built using Okta Workflows, which updates the user profile with the account names used for server access. Turning to Okta Advanced Server Access, I created an Active Directory connection to fetch AD join servers and assign them to the application development project. For this project, I associated the relevant project details and server-specific groups which was pushed from Okta earlier, ensuring precise access control. Within Okta Privileged Access, I have set up a resource group containing two projects, one for database admin and one for read-only admin. I have enabled the connection to Active Directory and create rules to fetch specific AD accounts from designated OUs. These accounts are configured for password rotation for every 6 hours, and we can also rotate the password each time they are used. Passwords are securely rotated using the Okta Active Directory agent, which is installed within the organization's infrastructure. Additionally, a ScaleFT gateway must be installed to facilitate secure communication with organizational servers such as database server. By combining these Okta components, we can implement a flow that not only streamline access management but also enhance security and compliance through automated and centralized control. In the next slide, we will see how it works for real-time users. First, the user logs into the Okta end-user dashboard and selects the Okta access request style. This action takes them to the access request dashboard, where they can see the request types which are entitled to them. These request types are tailored according to their department or designation. To request access, the user clicks Request Access and is guided through a series of questions, including the reason for access, the specific role needed, and the desired access duration. Depending on the chosen role, the next steps may differ. If the user selects read-only role, the system immediately assigns the access without prompting for approval. However, if DB admin role is selected, the request enters an approval workflow. Once approved, the user is provisioning both Okta privileged access and Okta advanced server access. After access is granted, the user opens the entitled application in their browser to retrieve credentials from Okta privileged access and pass on that in the Okta advanced server access app to access the server. However, for the database admin role, an extra step of verification is required before revealing the credentials to the user. Adding an additional layer of security, the user then copies the credentials and uses to access the resources. These credentials are automatically rotated either after each use or after a set period to strengthen security and mitigate the risk of breaches. In Okta Advanced Server Access, when the user clicks Connect, they are prompted to enter their credentials. The user pastes the previously copied credentials and establishes a connection to the server via the gateway. All activities and session data are stored in the gateway for auditing and further enhancing overall security. Automated access requests and removals enable quick and error-free granting and revoking of AD account access. Okta Privileged Access automatically changes or rotates AD account passwords, keeping them safe and reducing hacking risk. All access and actions are recorded, making it easy to audit and prove compliance. Strong authentication and session recording prevent misuse and help quickly investigate issues. Everything is automated, so IT spends less time on manual work and users get access faster. This means better security, easier audits, and less work for everyone. Well, this concludes the session about implementation of self-service access requests for AD joint servers with password rotation. Thank you for your attention. I hope this presentation has offered valuable insights into how we can utilize Okta products for implementing the secure access to your sensitive resources.